Matt Holmes here with University of Indianapolis volleyball coach Jody Rogers, coming off another successful season in 2011, a Great Lakes Valley Conference Championship, another trip to the Sweet 16. Obviously now you've had kind of a couple months to think about it and maybe kind of enjoy it a little bit. Before we kind of look ahead, look back for us and just how did that season feel, to be as successful, as you were, and yet another successful season for Greyhound volleyball, finishing 15th in the country at the end of the year and everything that goes along with that.
Yeah, it's great to go off of that. The girls are really excited. We started spring season, so when they were looking back on the season, of course they were disappointed that we didn't win in the regional final. However, I know that kind of motivates them now to do better and get back to where we need to be at. They really have the ability to get back to the Elite Eight, and I think that's momentum for us this spring and then into the fall next year. And it gets me motivated to recruit kids, just what I have already, just to compliment them as we try to go on and get a national championship. I mean, because that's the overall. It's great to win a conference championship, don't get me wrong, and the GLBC is very strong, and so is our region. But it's, the girls want to really get the big trophy.
Well, and that, I don't think a lot of people realize, a lot of people are familiar with spring football, but spring volleyball really just as big for that ultimate goal, to get to a conference championship, a national championship. You've been practicing now. This weekend starts kind of 3 weekends of competition for you guys.
Absolutely.
How do you approach the spring season? Kind of what are the goals and things that you try to accomplish, with your student athletes that are here in the spring?
Well, as competitive as I am and my players, it's the scoreboard's never off. You know what I'm saying? So even though, it's spring and we play a lot of Division I programs, I just want to play the top competition so my girls don't stay humbled and want to work harder and get against competition that is better than them or even just as good but just motivates them more to improve. So I think this weekend when we start at Capital Sports Center and we play Purdue and Xavier and IUPUI and Indiana State, those are great programs, and so we're just going to hopefully go in and try to do the best we can so we can get a reputation that, we're a great program and my girls work hard and it stems off them wanting to improve and get better, because the only way we're going to get better is we play top competition, and that's what we do year in and year out, and even in the spring and the off.
Looking ahead, to the spring and what you have coming up in the fall, you returned 4 starters from last year, an All-American outside hitter, and Christina Kerrigan, the region freshman of the year, and setter Megan Binkard, outstanding freshman in middle. You had Julia Watkins, also another outside, and Courtney Crawford, some other valuable pieces. Just looking at your players you got back and you're returning, the things that you're looking for out of those players maybe individually and to improve on here in the spring.
Well, I'm more excited to the talent I already have. I know the freshmen put in a significant amount of time. The best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores, so they get more experience. And then they got that experience of being in the Sweet 16, so they're going to be hungry and they're going to hate losing and things like that. And then just sophomores that become juniors, they know this is how it goes in this program, and so they get better acquainted of pressure and understanding me and how we need to do things to get to the next level. We got great returning players, but we're going to miss Engelmeyer and Hannah for their leadership skills. However, I know I brought in a few girls that are definitely going to complement our program greatly. I'm excited. A whole bunch of Indiana kids, so it's going to be great. So I think it's just one more thing that the girls are going to motivate the new kids coming in so we can get to that next level.
And I know another thing that we've talked about and you've talked about with a full season under the belt, also you're going to kind of have better integration, I think, this year with your 3 Division I transfers that you got last year, and Abby Padlock and Ariel Knafel and Brittany Engelmeyer. How much does that help, that those players have a full year of integration, they know your system now and can kind of hit the ground running this spring?
Yeah, it's always hard for the transition, especially if you come from another program, because then you got to learn how I do things and don't take things personal, and you get to know how they need to be motivated as an athlete, because not all of them can be treated the same. So it's nice that I got this full year with them and they're ready to go, because they don't really need that much coaching like most of my girls that I have right now. They're just motivated to win in this, so they're great. It's just me just to complement and get us to a situation where we can be, win. So I think they're going to bring the intangibles that need us to get to a championship, and I'm just looking forward to working with them.
You mentioned you're going to be here in Indianapolis this weekend for your first competition of spring. Where else are you going to be going? Maybe some other schools besides the ones that you mentioned, in Purdue and Xavier and IUPUI and Indiana State. Maybe some of the other schools that you're going to be playing.
Actually, we're going to Purdue on April 14th, and that's at Purdue. And they haven't finalized the schedule yet, but those are all D1 teams. There are going to be a lot of Big Ten teams there. And then we go to IU on April 21st, and which is another top Big Ten teams that are gonna have a great tournament. So it's one of those things, we get there and during warm up it's so brutal. It's like they look like all American superstars, but it comes down to just playing our game and stuff. So and we want that high pressure, because once you get used to pressure, it's just an emotion. So
what does it say about your program? Looking at these schedules, you look at these tournaments. It's all D1, and then they invite the University of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And from the standpoint that they know that you're going to provide, competitive competition, and what they're not inviting, Southern Indiana's, and it's just UIndy that's kind of built its reputation. What does that mean to you that you're felt along those lines that you can compete, with Division I schools here?
I think it's wonderful. I think it just attests to the athletes that are here, that are competing, that are working their butt off day in and day out, and it contributes them. They're doing a great job, and I'm just there to compliment them, hopefully. They don't take everything personal. But that just gets us ready for the fall, because our first weekend in August, the last weekend in August, we play Central Missouri, we play Tampa, we play Lock Haven, we play West Florida, top 20 teams in the country. So it's not going to help us out at all if we don't play the big dogs. So I think it helps us out and get better as we go along.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for the time. Good luck here in the spring, and we'll catch back up with you here to preview the fall coming up in August.
Thank you very much.